Well, hello guys, and welcome to another video. I know it's been a while since my last upload, but there's a reason for that. I have lost all motivation for my dream game, lost the game files permanently, and became burnt out on game development. Now, thankfully I am fine now and ready to get back at it, but I want to make sure other developers don't fall into the same trap I did. So I'm going to go over some of the mistakes I made that led me here, and how you can avoid them, so that you don't end up burnt out on game development like I did. So let's get started. The first mistake I made and how all of this started was not backing up my project. I cannot emphasize enough how vital backing up your project up is. I had just finished editing my previous video when my new SSD, which for those that don't know is a storage device that is much faster than a hard drive, arrived at my door. I quickly installed it into my computer and asked a friend of mine how to move my stuff over to the SSD. He guided me through the process amazingly well, and even gave some advice, mainly backing up my stuff before doing the transfer from my old hard drive to my SSD. However, when I tried to make a backup of my stuff, I realized it would take about a week for it to be done, and me being my impatient self, I decided I would just proceed without the backup. So I booted up my PC after the transfer, and as I expected, everything was fine. I booted up some games and hopped on a call with some friends of mine, while thoroughly enjoying my new SSD speeds. However, when I eventually decided it was time to continue working on my game, and opened up Unity, I realized there was nothing there. The Unity hub was empty. No games, zero projects, nada. I immediately started googling if Unity had automatic backups, which it did, but they had also been deleted apparently. I then tried installing a program called Recuva, which brings back deleted files, and thankfully after plugging back my old hard drive, I was able to recover most of my old projects, except for a few of them. However, in between those few there was Moon, my dream game. I was utterly devastated. I had tried everything and anything to try and bring it back. However, it quickly became clear to me that there was no bringing back my game. So again, I would like to restate how important backing up your projects is. It takes 20 minutes to back it up in GitHub, and it will easily save you months of work if a situation like mine ever happens. So for the love of God, please do back up your projects. The second mistake I made, and probably the biggest one, was overworking myself to the point of burnout. I definitely recommend working on your game at least an hour every day, so that you build consistency and don't rely on motivation. However, I had just lost my entire game, and I decided I would rebuild my game from the ground up in under 2 weeks. I was able to salvage most of the game's code and all of the sprites, so I thought it would be easy. Little did I know I would spend the next few weeks working hours upon hours on my game, which slowly over time made my love for the game dwindle, because it turns out spending 10 hours every day staring into a screen was not only unhealthy, but slowly draining my passion for game development away, and by the time the game was back to how it was before, I had lost all motivation for the game. Now obviously I still will continue working on the game. After all, it's literally my dream game. However, it might be a while before I revisit it, as right now I just can't bring myself to work on it further. As to how you guys can avoid this mistake, I would say the best way is to never overwork yourself. I know it might seem tempting to just work on a game all day for a couple of days, and then rest for another couple, but that will just lead to burnout. Instead, it's much better to work a set number of hours every day. My third and final big mistake was overscoping, especially videos. You see, after I finished my last video, which for some odd reason blew up, I felt as if I needed to post higher quality stuff. So as I made my next video, which was supposed to be a short video where I review your games, I just couldn't bring myself to upload it, as I felt I could always do better with my editing. I tried to keep improving on it. At first I just improved the editing, then I expanded the video's runtime, then I added a few more games to review, and by the time I realized I had an 8-page long script, 12 minutes of edited footage with 28 left to edit. I had bitten off more than I could chew, and after contemplating it for a while I had to scrap the video. Now as for preventing this, I would say the best way to do so would be to plan out what you are going to work on from the very beginning, and to always assume you are going to take 2 times, as long as you expect you will take. So if you are going to make a game, make sure to plan out what you are going to do before you start. Before adding something new to the game, ask yourself if you really need to have it in the game, and make sure you get a minimum viable product as soon as you can. Now I am not ready yet to return to Moon Devlogs, so I'm going to be trying smaller projects for now. Maybe I'll try and release a Steam game before Moon, to really get some practice before moving on to such a huge project. Again, thank you very much to everyone watching this. It's absolutely mind-blowing how successful my previous video was. And while I release a new video, feel free to join the Discord for updates on what I'm working on, and have a good day guys.